This tour allows me to see towns that most bands are not going through anymore. Maybe they were at one time. Some of my most favorite bands in the world came out of the state of Ohio. And you know, geographically, you look at the map of the United States, and it's sort of like, not that places like, you know, Akron or Columbus are, you know, they're not like Kurt Cobain's Aberdeen by any means, but there really is sort of the sense like, wow, groups like Perubu came out of like Akron, and you know, groups like Rocket from the Tombs, Guided by Voices, Dead Boys, you know, groups that I was really, really into, especially as a teenager, and I'm still really into. I mean, Perubu is one of my favorite bands of all time. You would never think they were listening to them, that this radical music was coming out of a place like Ohio. And that's not to sound offensive to Ohio, because I really love Ohio. You know, I think music used to center a lot around community, having a lot of pride where you're from, and that's not gone completely, but I'd say a big part of it's gone. You know, I remember, I'll get an example. I remember seeing there's a band from Ohio called Swearing at Motorists. The first time I saw them play, they had Ohio flags. Behind them, there was a one on the amplifier and one over the drum kit. And I thought, I'm not even from Ohio, I mean, I'm from Washington, but I remember really just thinking, that is the coolest thing ever. Rachel, would it be alright? Because I have that, you know, I have that about Washington.
That's sort of allegiance.
Yeah, I really do. I mean, I'm very proud of where I come from, and yeah, as a Washingtonian. It's not perfect, you know, by any means. No state is, but yeah, to have that allegiance is really cool. You know, we're living in a day and age where even the American flag, it's offensive to a lot of people. To me, it still represents the symbol of who we are. It's all of us, you know. Each of those stars, like, they represent, like, you and me, you know, our states that make up this great country that we live in. We're very, very fortunate, you know. Perfect? No, not by any means. I mean, I would never ever claim that, but I'm proud of where I'm from. I'm proud to be a Washingtonian, but I'm also proud to be an American. You know, I love America. You know, I think no matter what political climate we're in, or how things are going, or I really believe we're still a great country. Like, we're an amazing country. We're a very diverse country. We're the most diverse country on the planet. You know, there's lots to see here. There's lots to be celebrated. You know, and each state makes up this beautiful place. Quilt, if you will, you know, so many different cultures and, you know, food and music, and it's ongoing, you know, and in some way I fear that we're losing it. And that's a real bummer to me. It's really heartbreaking to me. So we live in a country where we are allowed to have differences. You know, we live in a country where you are allowed to be the most offensive person. And no matter if you're conservative or liberal-minded, or like, you can say whatever you want and play whatever you want, and you're protected. You know. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. For me, this tour is about celebrating all that. it's just celebrating who we are, and again, like I have a lot of songs that reference towns and cities, and yeah, so it's very much part of who I am too. Out from my window across from the city, I have what's considered a good view. I'm 2 blocks from the subway, 3 from the fountain. I'll walk to break in the new shoes. And she stands on the sidewalk, waving at taxis like horses and parades in passing. And I ask where she's headed, and she tells me Ohio. I've not seen my mother in ages. It's been a long time, a real long time. A real long time. So out from my window, how far is Ohio? She laughed and pointed out east. She said that I grew up there with my dear mother. I haven't seen her since 13. You see that I was taken while she lay sleeping by my father's hired man. So we moved to this city, and I'm far from my family, and I haven't been back home since. It's been a long time, a real long time. A real long time. So out from my window, please hear me, Ohio. Your daughter wants to come home. She longs to be with you, to hug you and kiss you, to never leave her alone. And I've gotten to know her, to live with, to love her, and it's hard when I see her leave. She belongs to her mother and the state of Ohio, and I wish she belonged to me. But I see you sometime, see you sometime. But Ohio also represents to me, I don't know, I've been to a lot of the states in the Union, and it sort of stands on its own. Show me the way. Show